Morning guys, it's Friday morning, up and at 'em, out here doing it. It's good to be out in the sun, good to be out earlier actually. I've been getting out of it later, so it's good to be out here earlier. And I didn't get much sleep last night thanks to Grom. I know I'm blaming you, Grom, but go and check out 30-year-old Grom. I had a really deep and great conversation about two and a half months ago, and a lot of it is to do with the mind, and it's worth a watch. It's lengthy, but you can break that up. But I dropped it early this morning, and then I'm so excited about being able to use the editor, and then the possibilities opened up of, I can do this. And so I started thinking about what I would like to do, and maybe an opening, because I need an opening, and music and stuff like that to add on to the start and stuff like that, and during. So I figured out how to do the cutting, which is a huge step for me because it was a complete unknown. I know nothing about editing. But I made it my playground. I looked at it, got patient with it, trying not to get frustrated, even though sometimes I did, because it was, especially when I couldn't find a certain section that I wanted to nip out. And I've literally not cut that much out of it at all. So go and check that out, 30-year-old Grom. I'm actually really excited for his live. He's got a live that he does now every Friday. I think this is the third one. So if you go and check him out, in fact, if you go and look at the last video, in the descriptions is his YouTube channel. So if you click on that, subscribe and get the update, and go on tonight at it's 5:45 Eastern time. That's Eastern time. 5:45, so that's not GMT time, that's Eastern US time. So 5:45, go on there, sign on to Grom. We have this group that I spoke about before that we all get on and we all chat and we all help each other out, and there's going to be a bunch of us on there supporting, showing love. So get on there and post some questions. I'm sure he'll give you a little bit of an answer, and it's a great group, and Grom's a great guy, and he basically was the one and the reason why I pick this camera up and do this every Friday, and the reason why I'm starting to get into editing, and other guys on the group use the YouTube as well. They have YouTube channels, and Scramble Joe and Chill Adventures, just to name a couple. I know Corn Life's going out there. He's going to have I believe, going to have a live coming up next month. He's working on that, so it'll be good to see that as well and tune into that. But anyway, so yeah, not much sleep last night because I was buzzing and excited, and the fact that I actually got this thing done and out there was awesome. So if I can do it, anybody can do that, right guys? Go into the unknown, learn. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, taking that chill pill a little bit, because we're always in a rush, and it goes kind of piggybacks off one of my videos of about, letting someone cut in line with you and things like that, and not getting bent out of shape. But there's those times when it's a bit of a blessing that we wasn't somewhere at that time, and that maybe we was a little bit stuck in traffic, because those times when you may be stuck in traffic and you're going crazy because you're like, I really don't like traffic, and here I am stuck, not moving. The thing to do is take a breather, take a breath, be thankful that you're in the position that you're in, because if there's an accident, be thankful that, hey, you wasn't 10 minutes earlier, right? Because you could have been in that. So it's about taking a breath when you're in that traffic, because you don't know what's happening, you don't know why it's there. Good morning.
Good morning.
You don't know why it's there, and count your blessings. You know, I haven't got any birth brothers, but I have those brothers that I surround myself with that I've made. That one of those is used to live up in New York at one point, and his wife, well, now wife, was a cop in New York City, and the day that the 9/11 happened, my mate was meant to have been in an interview. I believe, I remember this story. He was meant to have been in an interview on that day. Can't remember the reasons why it wasn't that day, or he didn't get to be that day. But he would have been in there. And in fact, he actually saw the second plane hit. So, you know, thankful that whatever happened that didn't get him to that interview. Thank God. It's a blessing, because could have been in it. So those times when we're like getting a bit angry or getting a bit upset with something, sitting in the traffic, or like my mate, like I say, I can't remember what happened, why he didn't make the interview. But let's just say, you know, he had it all arranged and they called him and put him off, and, you know, get a little bit like frustrated or whatever because you changed your arrangements around, but may be there for a reason. And it's those times, guys, when it's not worth bringing your energy to that point of anger and frustration. And breathe. You know, if you're in traffic, even if there's guys working on a road, yeah, all right, it might be a bit of a pain in the ass because you wasn't expecting it. You know, it's the expectation bit as well. And if you have those expectations and those expectations don't exactly work out, which a lot of the time they don't, then you go into a different mindset. You go into the negative now. You have the positive because you have an expectation, but when it don't work, boom, it's even heavier. You might as well double the feeling, and you go down because it didn't reach what you expected it to be. So when when you're in that traffic, and there's those roadworks even, and yeah, it's no fun. But, you know, I see those guys out there sometime. I'm in an air-conditioned car, blowing nice cold air on my face, and I've worked outside and it's no fun. And there's those guys out there and they're working on blacktop on a road and shit like that. So, you know, and be thankful that the road is getting fixed for a reason. Yeah, I get it. I can all hear you screaming, ah, right? But hey, it's the reality, right? And the reality is there's people out there working on that road, and that road is actually being fixed or expanded for our convenience. And yeah, it doesn't always turn out that we're very happy about that, but it's a matter of breathing. When you breathe and you put space between you and the issue, you can think a little bit. Start bringing those thoughts into mind, and then it starts calming you down. I remember when I worked in the city in London, I was a chef in the House of Commons, and I used to get the train from where I lived in London into the centre to go to work. And there's a train station called London Bridge. And this one year, I'll never forget it. This one year, I came into London Bridge. I had two more stops to go, but I came into London Bridge, and I remember I was sitting on the right hand side, and when the train pulled up, there was a bathrooms, toilets, right there on my right hand side. And when I got to my stop and I got into work, I figured out that if I would have been around about 10 minutes earlier, pulling into that position, it might have been a different story, because terrorists planted a bomb in that toilet and it went off. And who knows, right? So, you know, I remember getting to the other side and thankful and grateful for the fact that I wasn't sitting there. But I got to work and I called home right away, because it would have been all over the news. And I made sure that family knew that, hey, it's all good. But, you know, count your blessings, yeah? Be thankful. Because sometimes we escape things that we're just put in the right place at the right time to avoid it. And sometimes those things, hang on a minute. Sometimes those things can't be explained at that point. But then you get to find out that, whoa, I could have been part of that. So hey, if you're in some traffic, remember, you may not know what the traffic's for, but it's there for something, and there's there may be suffering involved. So take a breath. It's not worth it, guys. It really ain't worth it. And sometimes we don't have the answers right away. Sometimes the answers ain't there right away. You know, we find that out later on. No matter how low you go, sometimes we get down there and we get the lessons. I know I did. You know, I wouldn't have been in this position I am of helping other people if I'd have gone from just being a regular guy without having the anxiety and the depression and the mental health. I might have been different. I might not have been in this, because I have the wisdom to be able to help someone else. And to tell you the truth, the only way I really got there, which started that path, is when I went suicidal thinking. And then I met my therapist, and it was my therapist that got me into the work that I'm in helping others. I didn't see it, she did. And that's how I got into a job that I absolutely adore and love. But if you would have said to me back then, I would have called you a bloody idiot. Because it was absolutely, I wasn't in a good spot. And like I say, we don't always know those reasons. Yeah? But if we work through it, if we move forward, then the reasons will show. And so take a breath, guys. Yeah, take a breath. When we're in those positions of like doom sometimes, and we can't figure it out, or we're feeling we're being hard done by somehow, or someone's trying to get one on us, or whatever it is, breathe. Because just like I said, whatever happened to my buddy, my mate, my brother, that was meant to have that interview that morning, I'm glad he didn't. So put some space, guys, and think. Breathe. It's not that big of a deal. Stay the course, guys. Namaste.